you. Thank you. It's good to be here, to see so many familiar faces, to have an opportunity once again to say a big thank you to all Liberians, those who are in this room, those who are not here, for all you've done to assist us in the processes of national renewal. Amara tells me that he's already done a commercial before the program started. All I can do is to add a few more details to what he's already shown you. As you know, our development agenda has been well discussed, well reported upon, well dealt with in so many fora. I'll just go through the 4 pillars and say essentially some of the things that have been done. You may have seen some of it on the screen. I may just add a little bit more to what you've already seen or have been told. On our peace and security pillar, I'm sure you were told that we've trained some 2,000 persons for the new army based upon an admission criteria that was very rigorous to ensure that we have people who can become professionals today. They live in good facilities, they are well equipped. We have the training program supported by the United States government, came to an end in December 2009, but we do have some 45 mentors from AFRICOM that are now in country, giving them additional support, particularly at the officers level. The reactivation of the Coast Guard is underway. Right now, a team is in Monrovia trying to repair the facilities. The boats are on order. We should see early next year a functioning Coast Guard after 2 decades of them being absent. The Special Security Service has benefited from training from the United States in the past 3 years. We'll still have some problems with them. They still have some rough edges around them. But by and large, we're trying to make them professionals so that they know that their duty is not only to protect the president, but to respect the rights of citizens. National Police Force still has a long way to go. That's one of the ones that we need to work on. Some training has been done at the academy, but we don't feel like they're now at the place where we can say we have a truly professional police force. And so that work is starting now with the support of the United States. We're going to ratchet up the training program, the selection. We may have to go through some of that and all of that. We hope that we can get there. In the meanwhile, we still have the United Nations peacekeeping force. They're now down to 8,000. We do have an exit strategy that's been agreed. We will see a large number of them remain in country through the elections to make sure that the peace is not disturbed and that our own police force have been adequately trained and properly equipped to take on the responsibility for protecting the citizens. On our second pillar, the economic reconstruction, we've concentrated on trying to reactivate the productive sectors, as you know, mining, agriculture, forestry. In the mining sector, we've been negotiating. First, we started renegotiating concession agreements, the same in agriculture. We have about 2 concession agreements that are now, the processes are finished, and we have so many others on the table. In agriculture, we have renegotiated Firestone, LAC is being renegotiated, Kavala is being renegotiated. Those processes are not on, they're not completed, while we are still looking at trying to activate Decorus and others with negotiations underway. Forestry has been a particular problem since the lifting of sanctions because of the global the global fight against forestry operations because of climate change and the need to preserve and conserve forests, we have been under pressure not to undertake forestry operations, and so we delayed it for quite some time. But the difficulty of 2008 and the situation we faced financially said we just had to go, not only because of the revenue it provides, but also because of the jobs that it creates and the social services that are provided in the communities in which the forestry are found. But we have not, we have a very tough forestry law that's based upon the principle of conservation, commercialization, and community benefits, and we make sure that the balance among those three are properly observed. As you know, we've been lucky with our debt situation, a $4.9 billion external debt overhang, which we've tackled, representing some, you wouldn't believe it, a debt ratio of 3,000. And on the HIPIC program, in June, we're waiting for the IMF board to approve what their mission has just concluded, that we've met all of the requirements, the benchmarks, and the triggers. And in June, the board should approve that Liberia has reached a completion point. We then go to the Paris Club in July to wipe out the rest of the bilateral debt. The commercial debt was also bought at 3 cents on a dollar. We still have a couple of hedge funds that have been holding out for some 20 million, but we're trying to see how we can tackle that. But I think it's one of the great victories of our country and of this government is that we're going to take the debt off the shoulders. Governance and the rule of law, freedom reigns. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of association. So we have a very aggressive media. I'm sure you know that. I don't have to tell you. You read it all day, and we keep sending the message to them. Freedom has with it certain responsibilities. So we'll keep getting that message across. We have a very vibrant non-government organization, the civil society, and all the things they do to serve as a watchdog on government. Judiciary, one of our weak points. We're still having trouble winning cases in the courts. I think we got our first couple of wins in terms of crime with the Kijuba trial, where they were brought down guilty. We still have to win the first one on corruption. But the judiciary and what we do about the jury system, what we do about judges who cannot be fired, what do we do about the whole justice system is something that we really do need to get more progress on. We're working with several of our partners to see how we can zero in on that, as that's the weakest link of some of the other areas I'll talk to you about very shortly. Infrastructure, many of you who may have been home have seen it for yourself. You've seen a repaving of the RIA Road. Monrovia streets are being repaved as I speak. The road to Buchanan is being paved. We may have to stop because of the rains, but it's going to be reached Buchanan sometime before the end of the year or early next year.